welcome back to the podcast. Today we have Lydia. Lydia is one of our newest coaches.
Yes.
If you're listening back to this, then she's probably not fucking new. But she's been with us for about a month now. I've kind of known Lydia for years, like through various gyms that we both worked at separate times, weirdly. Which is a very good coach. She seems to be one half of Grace and Lydia. They seem to come together. Don't know why. Probably because they're together. But no one, like, we don't say, we do say Simon and Rebecca, so it's fine. Yeah, you're all just one person. So what we're going to discuss today is how Lydia got into the industry, kind of the challenges she faced when she did so, and then how she's grown into being an online coach from what was just like a cut and dry gym floor PT, right?
Yeah, literally.
What did you do before you were PTing?
Worked at Mackey's.
Did you?
Yeah.
I did the same.
Do you know what? I went that bad at it, Evie. I was
How
all
do
right.
you not be bad at Mackey's?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
What's the skill level?
Chicken side and on beef. I was literally the only girl in kitchen.
Oh, do you get put in the kitchen?
I was staff trainer. I got moved up quite quick.
Oh, I was going to say, you haven't listened to the podcast that I did before when it was like, is it not out yet? I basically, like, I'll tell you now before you watch it, said that, like, you got put on the till, and then if you couldn't fucking count or you couldn't use the till properly, they put you in the kitchen.
Oh, you got put on fries. Oh, fries, mate, was the worst ever.
Yeah. Oh, you know, when they turn the oil on in the morning and they're just like pushing the hard bit down, you're like, ugh. The thing for me for Mackey's was the smell of the fries when they were frozen. Like, it was hanging.
Do you not think though, like when you left Mackey's, you stunk of Mackey's no matter what?
Yeah.
Like my old car stank of Mackey's all the time. I don't know how to get rid of
Mine was
this.
probably because I used to take Mackey's home with me.
Yo, I never used to
I was
use
like,
it.
if I'm getting £4.25 an hour, I'm also eating before, during, and after this shift.
Yeah.
So you were shit on the tills.
Yeah.
I was right.
But then I was really good. What were they called when like the big people used to come in Mackey's? Like
Not
not
like
the,
the tall people or the
no,
important people.
no, like the people who own Mackey's. Like what was it called? BD something or something like that. Where they used to come and it was like a massive day. Like all your good staff are in.
BDM.
Yeah, all
Business
your good
development
staff are in.
manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only learnt that since I left. I just thought they were dickheads.
Well, they wear that
was
as
this
well.
guy in a suit? I was in college, me, so I couldn't care.
Didn't give a shit.
No, absolutely not arsed at all. So Mackey's, then PT.
Yeah.
Straight from Mackey's to PT.
Yeah, so I actually worked at a gym first. So I used to live over I didn't used to live, I still lived where I normally live. And then I was seeing someone who lived over towards Blackburn Way.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, listen, it's all right, thanks.
I dated a girl from Blackburn once as well.
It was like the
fucking
worst
weird,
relationship
weren't
of your
it?
life.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the word worse. But yeah, it weren't great.
And then I used to go to a gym down there and because I can talk.
Yeah.
I started talking to him and he was like, what do you do for a living? I was like, work at Mackey's. He was like, what do you want to do? I was like, work in a gym. So then he gave me a job.
By chance.
Yeah, literally he called me and he was like, do you want to go work in a gym? I was like, yeah, I really do. So then he put me into a women's only gym.
Okay.
Fully Asian based.
Nice.
And I enjoyed it. It was good. Like I started doing spin classes, never done spin in my life, started doing that. But like ADHD just kept me going. Like I'd start at 6, finish at 10. And he basically had me running 3 different gyms and I was getting paid £5 an hour.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I used to work in a leisure centre, but I got paid really well because I was a lifeguard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you used to get £9.50 an hour.
£9.50 an hour?
Yeah.
Back in the day as well?
At like 18,
Ching, ching,
19. Yeah. It was mint. Virgin had I did some shifts at Virgin when I was at uni and they used to shaft you. I used to get shit wage from them.
Didn't you have to like give half your wage to them? Like if you earn X amount of money, you have to give to X amount
not
of
as a
that?
lifeguard. They just got paid, but that was like minimum wage at Virgin. But at Manchester City Council, like you used to get £9.50. It was fucking mint.
What were your hours dead long then?
Nah, only in summer. Like when you do summer, they obviously have like the school camps where like obviously where I live, like nobody wants to parent the children. So they used to just send them swimming all day. So like they get these kids that looked like fucked up, wrinkled prunes by the end of the day because they've been in the water for like 6 hours. I'm like, have you had lunch? Like, yeah, I had a fucking toffee crisp out of the vending machine at lunchtime. And I'm like, I don't know why they're scouts because they weren't. But they're like, fucking hell, like, are you all right? And they'd be like, no, I'm cold. I want to go home. But so we used to do double shifts then. So you used to do like 6:30 till 10:30. 6 in the morning till 10:30 at night.
But getting paid £9.50, you do
Yeah,
that, you weren't really
I
arsed.
bought a motorbike that year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, fucking mad. At like 18, bought a motorbike.
I'd love a motorbike. Grace won't let me get one.
I wouldn't. No, I nearly came off it once and then it was fucking...
The game over.
Yeah, I put it in the garage then.
Did you? This is it.
Again and sold
I fell
it.
off motocross bikes when I was younger.
Yeah. This was like, it was a 125, but it looked like a 500. Like it was like a proper like sports bike chassis. And to be fair, although they're not massively powerful, they can move quickly, like from like 0 to whatever. And I was just being, like you are when you're a fucking kid.
Redlining it as quick as you can.
In and out, no traffic for me. I'm fucking, you'll never stop me. And then I pulled out like fucking that way and a van was coming the other way.
Shit.
And I was like, and then I thought, and I looked inside and there was a fucking car on my inside. And I was like, I'm going to get splattered here. And luckily I didn't. Like I managed to just fucking wheeze my way out of it. But then at that point I'm like, it's not like a car.
No.
Like, I'm not RoboCop. Like, the car won't save me. If someone hits this bike, I'm going wherever the bike doesn't go.
I know, it's hanging in it.
And I was like proper like fucking scally as well. So I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
With my fucking helmet
Your kneecaps going to start coming out or whatever.
No like bike gear at all. Like a pair of TNs on.
That's when I came off the motocross bike. That's what I was wearing. I was wearing shorts and everything. Honestly, like all down there was like all cut.
Burn, yeah.
But because I was more bothered about my mum and dad finding out that I drove the motocross bike when I weren't meant to. It was underneath a car and I was dragging it. This woman screaming because blood was pouring down my face. But I went ass. I was like, I need to get the bike out. Ripped off the full bonnet. What's the bottom part of a car called?
Yeah, bumper.
Yeah, ripped all that off and I was riding the bike. The handlebars were that way and the wheel were facing straight. I was like, I just need to get home. I was so scared.
So why you didn't ditch it?
No, I couldn't. Mum and dad would kill me, man.
So they knew you had a motocross, was it?
Oh, yeah. Like I rode them. My dad's like a big bike fan. So.
Oh, so you robbed your dad's bike?
No, it was my own motocross bike.
Oh, but you weren't supposed to ride it without permission?
No. It was only allowed to go ride it at leisure leagues.
I remember my dad fell off a mini moto once when I was younger.
They're lethal then.
It's rapid, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you can't really sit
I know,
on them properly.
I think that's what it is.
It's like, have you ever watched the cartoons where like...
We're on little tiny bikes.
I don't know whether you can see this on the... If you're watching the podcast, you won't be able to. But if you're watching it on YouTube, you will, of me doing my little impression. But yeah, like they were mad. I remember Dad came off one and hurt his arm. And then he was like, motorbikes are shit. And I'm like...
Yeah, that's what the first thing they say.
Because you can't ride one.
Yeah, just because you can't... But well, a mini moto, you can't really ride them, can you?
No, you just kind of toot around on them, don't you? They're like field only.
They are a good laugh, though.
You know what happened last week? There was some kids on fucking quads near ours. But like... We live in quite a nice area.
Yeah.
So like there were electric quads.
Oh. And
I was about to fucking back, like where I'm from, if you see a teenager on a quad, you've just got to be ready to lever them. Because like they're either going to try and rob you or they're just going to be a twat. And like either way, they've got helmets on so you can hit them and you don't feel too bad about it.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, like I had the dog with me as well. So like I give the dog to Charlotte and just said, if they fucking come near this dog, I'm going to fucking batter them both. And they pulled over and waited for the dog to go past.
Cheer up.
And then I bumped into the parents that were further down and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, just really levered these people's kids. And they were like, they stopped for you, didn't they? And I went, yeah, they did. And they went, oh, good, yeah, we bought them electric ones, but we told them to make sure that they pull over if there's any dogs or anything like that so they don't startle them.
I didn't even know electric quads were a thing,
Neither
mate.
did I, but we live in one of those areas.
Yeah.
Do you want an electric quad for Christmas? Oh, yeah. But like, I said to him, I was like, where I'm from, like, we'd be ready to like pull them off them quad bikes and do them in. And they went, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, like you don't get about on a quad bike unless you're a criminal.
Yeah, 660.
Or you're about to go like smash someone's houses, like, because they're not road legal, are they?
No.
But we're on like an estate, so like it's technically like...
Bit posh.
Yeah, listen, there's no coppers going to come there.
Oh, no, yeah.
So, yeah, as a massive off story, that's what happened the other week. But... putting us two on a podcast together is probably
it's probably the worst thing in the world. I did think this.
No, and I'll put two people with an attention span of a squirrel. So you got this job in a gym.
Yeah.
You were running these. How did you end up running 3 gyms? Because you massively skipped that point of the story.
Yeah, so he's a good lad, actually. Icky, he's a really good lad. So we had a normal gym in Accrington. I
remember Accrington. Was it Accrington Stanley?
Yeah, Aki. It's like,
do you remember on Soccer AM?
Yeah.
I can say, who are they? Exactly.
And then obviously I ran the women's one and then he was like, oh, I'm going to get another one. I was like, all right, okay, that's sound. He was like, you're going to run it? I was like, all right, okay. So
he thought, I'm having a laugh here, £4.50 an hour.
Yeah, that's what it was. But whilst I was in the women's one, that's where I started doing PT sessions. So I'd charge them £10. Then I had to give £5 to them and I'd keep £5. But I'd just literally just fill myself up. So where I'd have a class. So I'd get into the gym, obviously open it, set it all up, do a class, then have a PT back to back till 10 o'clock at night.
I used to do it at Bellevue because I didn't want to do the other stuff on shift. So like we didn't do PT, they didn't do PT at Manchester City Council and you weren't allowed to do PT. They didn't have like a PT structure. So they were like, you can't do PT because we don't have a PT manager, we don't have all of this stuff. Like you're either a gym instructor, you do classes, there's no PT in our gyms. MCC it was. It was run by Serco, really, but like Manchester Sport and Leisure Trust it was. So anyway, what I did was I found this workaround where if somebody booked in for a program induction, I'd basically be able to PT in for an hour, and the shifts were 8 hours. So I used to do like
8 sessions.
I used to book 3 in, and then I'd sky for an hour for my lunch, and then I used to book like 4 in, and I'd do that like every shift that I could, because it was way better than fucking cleaning
doing the classes.
toilets. Oh. Well, so I worked at, but it wasn't the classes, it was the fucking just the cleaning and stuff like that. Like I worked at Bellevue Leisure Centre, and they've since knocked it down and built a national basketball centre. So actually it's really nice now.
Oh, wow.
But it was a shithole when I worked there. And like they'd have you doing jobs like Steve the drains blocked in the male changing rooms. You know, like
what do you want me to do with
old
that?
school football. Well, I was a ground worker with my dad, weren't I? So like, I knew what I was doing, which is the worst bit about it.
Never tell
like,
them the full story.
You do a bit with your dad, don't you? And I was like, yeah. He was like, drains blocked in the male change rooms. I'm like, Sam, what the fuck do you want me to do with that? I'm in my fucking shorts and t-shirt. He was like, we just go and have a look at it for us. And I remember like unblocking this drain thinking, I'm supposed to be a fucking gym instructor here. What the fuck am I doing? So after that, I was like, fine. I'm just gonna book all these PT sessions in.
Smart, innit?
And that's what I did. So like you getting £10, like I was doing it for fucking £9.50 to be fair.
Yeah.
So it was all right. But like you think about that now and everything be like, oh, fucking, that's well cheap. And I'm like, yeah, but I was getting paid £4 an hour to do a job that I fucking hated before this. So
it didn't really matter. Yeah, I was working at Mackey's, and as much as like I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy the work. I enjoyed the people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then obviously being a PT, it's you just with people all day, so it's fine, innit? Like puts my ADHD up at a nice high level of being happy. So
yeah,
it made me happy.
So you were managing these 3 gyms for £5 an hour?
Yeah.
What was the step after that then?
So it was one of the women. She had like loads of different businesses, and she was actually my best paying client. She actually paid me a bit more. She was a nice lady, and she was like, "Oh, what's like your big dream, or what do you want to do?" I was like, "Probably just open my own place, like coach. Like it's always every PT's dream, and it's to open their own place." And she was like, "Well, why don't you start doing that instead of working here and charging X amount of money?" I was like, "Because you got to start somewhere." And she said there was a DW where I actually used to train at. And she was like, why don't you go see what theirs is? So I literally went, and then before you knew it, I was down London doing a course. And then in January, I started being a PT at DW. And then from there, obviously went to different gyms. But DW, their rent scheme was ridiculous, mate.
Yeah, go on, how does that work?
Like ridiculous. So when you first start, you have to do classes. You have to do like 30-minute PT class, like classes, like boot camp classes as such. So you do them, and then that's like you don't pay rent, or you pay half the rent, and then the minute you've done with those classes, you can go full time. It's like £600 for the rent. It's like, that's just stupid. Like you're just starting out.
Oh, for me, I remember going for an interview at LA Fitness, and it was the same thing. It was like, and I'd never paid £600 for nothing in my life. Like I paid rent at home, but it was like at the time I was like a teenager, so it was like minor. It was like couple of £100. So this guy was like, oh yeah, so you owe us £600. I'm thinking, I paid my dad £200, and I got paid £600 for this. And then I've got my car, and I'm like,
it's going quick.
I'm like, no, because I'd only ever earned like £1,200 a month. So I'm thinking, where do I get my money? I'm thinking, there's no chance I'm going to be able to do that.
It's ridiculous. But I think because the first day, like I became quite close with the GM there. So like, Leslie, she's probably one of my close friends now as well. But she was like, what you need to do, you just need to absolutely just go out and be yourself. I was like, right, okay, I'll just go do that. And I got like 3 PT clients straight away. And I was just doing the free 30-minute taster sessions to everyone. I just didn't care. I was like walking up to people. I was like, hi, how are you? I'm Lydia, I'm the new PT. And then before you knew it, because I was Scouse as well, they were like from Blackburn, so they didn't speak like me. So they're like, oh, where are you from? So I automatically had something to talk about. And then the minute they realised like I was an all right person, like, all right, okay, yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that. And then I met Grace through one of the classes.
So she was a client?
Yeah, but she came on to me, mate.
You scumbag. Oh, don't try and fucking lay it off now. She came up to me.
She did. She got my number off the board and was like, hi, mate, been meaning to message you. I was like, oh, have you now?
I only went to the classes for Lydia.
Oh, no one ever came to my classes for me. Just came because I was a good PT. Never got hit on.
Did you not?
Not knowingly.
Not knowingly.
I'm about observant as a fucking brick though. It was one time I didn't know I was dating her. There was a girl that I used to work, a woman that I used to work with at the school, and she used to be like, "Oh, come round and like we'll do our marking together." And I thought, that's sick, that, because I'll do my marking now, because I never used to fucking do it. I used to do it, but like begrudgingly.
Yeah.
So I like gone round like 4 times and like didn't do much marking, just ended up watching films, but I did some marking. And then like after the 4th one, she was like, "Is everything all right?" And I'm like, well, "Yeah, why? What do you mean?" And she was like, "Oh, it's just like you've been round like 4 times now and like nothing's happened." And I was like, "What do you mean nothing's happened?" Like,
Meant
what
to be
did you
fucking
expect?
marking.
Yeah, I was like, "What did you expect to happen?" And she was like, "Well, you come round to my house like 4 times." And I was like, yeah, to do marking. And then I saw the look on her face, and then it kind of dawned on me, and I was like, "Oh,
This is a relationship.
that's what time it is." I'm like, I gotta go. And yeah, I just ran off pretty much.
Like that. See you
Yeah.
later.
Pretty much like that. Yeah.
No
So
one-
that's how observant I am about stuff.
Not
like
notice
that. I actually
anything.
went on 4 dates with someone without realising I was dating them.
It's probably a bit of a, you could take that off on something, couldn't you really? And be like, yeah, just that. Don't really know.
No, I'm just oblivious. But anyway, so Grace stalked you.
Yeah. But then working at DW was like, it was very, I learned a lot about like people and who I actually like enjoyed and who I didn't enjoy. But it's like when you're a PT on the floor, you coach anyone. So it's fun, like you can do what you want. But when I realised that I like to kind of like coach a lot of people. So I did a boot camp. So I made a boot camp and now DW own it, even though it was
they?
mine. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Swear to God.
Do they not even give you like a bit of a kickback or nothing?
No.
Is it Mike Ashley that owns DW? No.
It's not DW anymore, is it?
No.
Is it Everlast now?
Oh, is it Everlast? Oh, you never. Once the company's passed on you, I mean, they were never going to give you a kickback anyway, but it's
No,
gone
they
now.
weren't. No. But I got quite known from that as well, and a lot of people came in from different gyms to come do it, so it was all right. And then obviously I went to different gyms from there.
What was the move online like?
It happened because COVID happened, so I had to do something.
So you were one of those like, you know what? I did think that with you because
Yeah.
like you're a very like in-person person.
Yeah.
So how did you cope with like the move on? Like obviously you didn't have a fucking choice. You had
No, I
to.
didn't have a choice.
Why have you stayed online?
So I only went fully online in last January. It was I only went fully online because I was doing like a hybrid model where I was doing like in the morning, like I'd get up at like 4:30 and then be in the gym from 6 till like 1 and then do online.
Right.
And I was just fucked, like literally like completely just knackered all the time. And then I was just like, do you know what? I could probably help a lot more people by just doing one thing. So I just did the one thing. But when I started it in COVID, I didn't think COVID was going to be as long as it was. I don't think anyone really did. And then obviously a lot of people doubted me. So we don't need to talk about that. But a lot of people doubted me. I'm like, you won't make it, like blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to try now because you've told me I'm not going to do it. I'm going to fucking do it. But I had so much free time to stay. So where I could do all the things that I needed to do in regards with systems.
Yeah.
So when I actually did do it, I was like, oh, I've done all this. This is fine. So when I actually took a client on, I was Sam, did all the onboarding with Sai.
Yeah.
It was just literally the easiest thing. I've not found it difficult as such. I know it sounds dead big-headed, but I haven't.
No, I can imagine. To be fair though, the skill set's really similar, right? Like, if you're, and I don't mean this in a way that you can't succeed online if you're not outgoing, but I do feel that sometimes people go online because they lack the skill set to make it work in person.
Yes.
Not realizing that it's essentially exactly the fucking same skill set. Like what allows you to achieve a good business in any kind of customer-based role is exactly the same online.
Yeah, 100%. I would debate that though and say I think online's a bit harder than one-to-one in terms of like the communication that you've got to have with that client.
Maybe for you personally though.
Yeah.
Because you're a very like talkative person.
Yeah.
So like naturally if you put you in front of someone, you'll just chew their ear off anyway.
Yeah,
Whereas
accidentally.
I think you probably have to go out of your way to do that.
Yeah,
online.
Yeah.
But it's like with gaining clients and like building a business and coaching, I think it's a very similar skill set. Yeah, probably you're right. You probably have to be a bit more regimented
Yeah.
with the online stuff because like, well, in person they turn up, don't they?
Well,
Like,
yeah,
they're
but you
there
hope.
on a Tuesday morning, whether you remember or not. Like you're in the gym. It's easy to remember to turn up to work.
Yeah.
It's not always easy to remember to message every single client at
No.
every single point that you need to.
No, it's like with lead gen and that, like, it's the exact same when someone becomes a one-to-one coach. Like, you know you've got to speak to 30 people in that day. So it's like, go speak to 30 people in that day online as well. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not difficult.
Sorry, we're just taking a casual pause to
It's absolutely
68
fine.
to get the Nando's. Get the Nando's in.
Chicken, lad.
Typical online coaches. But yeah, I think it's a very, like you just said there, you've got to go. Did you get set that as a target by like somebody in DW to go and speak to 30
No,
people?
so I just knew I needed to speak. When I first started, again, I became friends with Leslie, and she was like, right, okay, there's this many people in this gym.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, right, okay, there's this many people. I was like, how many people have come in today? I was like that person who probably asked questions. Grace says I have no filter. But
Yeah.
it's not to be rude. My filter's just like, I'm like, how much money do you earn? Not because I'm rude, but because like I just want to know.
It's like mild Asperger's.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. So when I
Displays a lot of the characteristics, to be fair.
so when I
Sorry
first
to label you as autistic in front of everyone on the podcast.
so when I first started, I was like, how many people have been in today? And they were like 100. I was like, right, okay, I need to speak to 50 of those people.
Yeah.
So every single day I just went in with a certain number on my diary. I think you've got the diary still, haven't you? And I'd have it where like I'd tally it. So I just knew I needed to speak to that many people before I could go do anything. And then it just converted.
Funny enough, then, when you say to people, you've got to speak to 30 people or send 30 messages a day online, or between 30 and 50 messages to people a day online, everyone goes, fucking stupid that.
Yeah,
I don't want to message that. Why would, that's not a fucking tactic. That's not a business. I'm like,
No, it really is.
do you know how sales works? You get given a list of people and they go, you make 100 fucking dials today. And if you don't make 100 dials, I'm going to sack you. And out
Literally.
of those 100 dials, we're expecting 20 people to turn up and to answer the phone. And out of those 20 people that answer the phone, we're expecting 5 of those people to be qualified for our services. And we're expecting you to book 4 out of those 5 qualified service people to the BDM, who's the next level of sales.
Yeah.
That's what we expect you out of your role. Okay. Online coaching, that's not a fucking business
Yeah, I can't
model.
speak to that many people. Yes, you can.
It's the fucking basic business model of every sales-based business going. You work in sales in Virgin Active. There's a list of people. We expect to contact this many people. We expect this many people to pick up, blah, 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 blah. We expect to send this many emails. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, it is.
And you've just literally gone, oh, it's exactly the same in my personal training of how I built that as well.
Yeah.
I got a number of people that were available. I said, this is an adequate number of people to speak to each day. If I speak to this many people each day,
I should be able to
eventually
do
there
it.
will be X amount of people that take up a taster, and out of X amount of people that do the taster, I will sign up Y amount of people to my services.
It's like, do you know that?
Funny how it's the fucking same, right?
It is. Leslie actually gave me the numbers because obviously I was part of their thing, so I was allowed
Yeah.
to be in the, is it GDPR or whatever it is?
That weren't a thing back then, though.
No, it
Wild
actually
West.
weren't.
If I got your number, I'll fucking buy your number off somewhere else.
It's she gave me all the numbers, so I just kept on contacting people. But do you know, like with that, the minute I knew that they signed up to a 30-minute free session with me, I knew I had them.
Yeah.
So you know that 10-minute triage call that you've been
Yeah,
speaking
yeah.
about? I think that's the best thing that any coach could do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people sometimes can't communicate the way they need to.
Yeah.
Like over messaging. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
get them on a call, talk to them, let them see you, because you will be able to wow them the way they need to be wowed.
I think it bridges a lot of gaps. So like what Lydia's talking about is one of the things that we've been kind of working with some of our coaches, like a 2-step close.
Yeah.
And we've mentioned it before when Lacey was on. It's having a triage call before a sales call where you set the triage call up as something that they actually want. So like for us, like we'll use something like a business audit where we'll audit all the numbers in the business and come up with like the 3 main, like most concerning things that you need to fix right away to grow your business. In the same way as we've run it with, I actually can't say who the client is because he works for another mentorship, but run a nutritional audit. So they got people to fill in like a nutrition, fill in a food diary.
Yeah.
And they'd then ring them and be like, listen, we'd like to give you a free nutritional audit based on the things you give us. I think there's some things we can really help you with. Would you like to book one? Oh, yeah, I'd love to. Book them in, sales.
Yeah, done.
And that was somebody who was really, not him, but his missus was very apprehensive about messaging people, like built it up in her head quite a lot. That,
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be pushy, I don't want to be salesy, I don't want to do this. So we set that up. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Worked
hits
really
off.
well. So we're in the process now of like, if you've got great authority and you book calls like fucking wildfire,
Yeah.
don't do it. It's you're going to take more work. Or maybe when you're ready to scale and you think, oh, actually, I've got a sale, I've got a closer now, I need 30 more calls a week.
Yeah.
Then it's not something that like everybody should do as a point of call.
No.
But if you're struggling to get people over the line, because
Then
the
that's where it
market's a bit more
happens.
sophisticated now. So like you used to be like, oh, do you want to get on a call and discuss like the
They'd be
things
like,
that-
yeah, no worries.
fucking, and then you sell them, right? people aren't that daft anymore.
No, I think it's probably since COVID though, innit? Like, because how many people became an online coach?
Yeah, the things work differently. But that to me, like, you know, you saying that, it's essentially, I never thought of it as the same as like doing taster sessions as a PT or doing like mini, like, again, nutritional audits or like
and I suppose,
diary setups.
Yeah. And even doing that, like, I think it's dead smart, like what you've just said. But even like, I suppose it's where the content comes in at the side of it, isn't it? Like that 30-minute free taster session is your content that you're showing them, like, this is what I do, this is how I'm going to help you.
I think your content is actually a little bit more like you being on the gym floor.
Yeah.
Like
your
walking around,
shop window.
how you look, like how you talk to people, how friendly you are, how you perform in your other sessions.
Yeah.
Because I went into Total Fitness and I wanted to get some personal training sessions for my partner. And like, I literally like, obviously like, so the PT that she's got now, lovely girl, I pay her more than she asked for.
Yeah.
Because she only asked Charlotte for 25 quid a session. I was like, there's no fucking way I could pay
25.
I was like, I can't do it. I was like, I physically can't. My basketball coach now, 20 quid a session. I was like, mate, I can't pay you 20 quid. Like, there's 30. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, I can't, as a coaching business person,
I can't pay you that.
Pay you 20 quid for an hour of your time. Like, and I said that to the girl that Charlotte, that trained Charlotte as well. I was like, I cannot physically allow you to pay this girl 25 quid an hour. Like, it's not right. In my opinion, like, she's good.
I don't think
I said, do the first one, and she's shit. Like,
yeah, then you can sack her off.
She was like, no, she's really good. She's set up me on the app already. She sent my nutrition over. She told me how many calories I need. I was like, yeah, she pay her 40 quid an hour.
Yeah.
That
like, people don't realise like that'd be so appreciated by her. And that'll probably make her worth go and be like, actually, I probably am worth this.
Yeah.
This is what I need to actually charge. So it's good.
I've completely lost the train of thought. Of
what were we talking about?
I was just thinking then, I'm underpaying my golf coach, but
you're a tight cunt.
It's like
just shows where Simon's morals lie. Tight bastard. That's because he saved it. Once he gets that take on, he'll be all right. Once he gets that take on, he'll be all right. So that was your like foray into personal training and stuff like that. I've been told to ask you about being gay in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to ask you about being gay in the fitness industry, so I'm going to give you the broadest question ever.
Go on.
Is it different? How is it different? Is it even different?
I think it used to be different. So when
I would think, and I might be wrong here because I'm not gay, I would feel like the fitness community is probably very, very tolerant because a lot of the fitness community are gay as well. Is it or is it not?
Yeah.
I asked this before and she said no, but
maybe that's an outsider's opinion of the
Yeah.
matter.
It might be where we worked early on in Virgin that we got that perception.
Yeah. Me and Simon like worked at the same gym together at some point, and there was lots of like gay members and gay PTs, and it was just very normal. And
was it in the city centre in Manchester or Salford?
Didsbury.
Oh, Didsbury.
I did work at the one in Salford though as well.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I thought it was that one.
It's nice, the one in Media City. You used to look out over Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Just sit there and be like,
Old Trafford.
Promised land. Except when you were trying to get out.
No, you can't. When there's a match on, nah.
Oh my God. Although, I used to sell my parking.
Did you?
Because you got a staff parking thing in it. And I knew lads that went to the football, and I'd be like, I'm not working that day. Do you want to buy my parking? 20 quid. And they'd be like, yeah, lad. Done.
Always had a business head.
Yeah. Nah, just as a bit of a grafter, to be honest.
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah. But
I think it used to be back in the day. So like, I've been in the industry like 8 years. I think it used to be something that like you just kept to yourself, and you kind of like, well, I did anyway. I pretended I was straight to obviously.
How did she find you then?
No, because like I was in DW. Like I was Scouse.
Yeah.
I was the female PT. I got filled up the quickest.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking loud, aren't I? So
yeah, that's true.
I was very much known, and I thought I can't be that person like who I'm pretending to be back in the day. So I thought, fuck it, I'll just be me. And then a lot of people, I lost quite a few clients, but then gained clients in
return.
return.
You lost clients?
Yeah.
How did you, where did you lose the clients? Like what was the turning point?
Probably when I was probably sat in the cafe with Grace, and I think I kissed her or I held a hand or something along those lines. And then I think I lost like 5 clients straight after that. Yeah.
Really? Was it literally like?
Yeah, it was. If it weren't that, then fuck knows what they'd like.
It was either terrible time. Did they give you like a shit excuse for it as well?
Yeah, and that's it, isn't it? Like, you know, when someone's blatantly lying to you, it's like you're clearly lying. So I was just like, whatever, man, ass.
Wow.
It's what it is.
I think most of your clients advantage, you know, you have this like weird.
Yeah, I had this thing at one point, like loads of straight clients started like telling me that they like fancy me. I was like, this isn't good.
Oh, just like on the sly, like,
Yeah.
I thought about women, you know.
Yeah, I hate when girls say that. I need to say it. I've
got
always
pissed once
thought
and
about
kissed my
kissing a
mate.
girl. You're like, I've heard shit. It's really good.
Kissed
Go
my
try
mate once
it.
when I was drunk.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Why
Never
are you
had
telling
sex
me?
with a girl though. Okay.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I've never jumped off a building.
Still here. But now, no, I think it's a lot more open and like acceptant.
Do you think it is? Or do you think actually people are just scared to be intolerant of it? Because I always think like, what's the difference now? Like, and things like homophobia and racism and things like that. I do wonder sometimes, like, and I guess it will stamp it out for like the next generation.
Yeah.
Because if people are scared to be that way, they won't put it on. Well, you never know behind closed doors and that, but it's less likely for kids to pick it up. And I think it's definitely a taught thing. So it's less likely for kids to pick it up, and then I think it will generally get better as a whole.
Yeah.
I worry sometimes for our generation whether it, because you see it come out of people, you know, when they're pissed or when like they're really annoyed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I worry for our generation whether it isn't exactly tolerance, it's just silence through fear of the majority. Like,
Of not coming out.
no, like as of not being intolerant to it. So like you said now, like you feel like it's better tolerated. Is it better tolerated, or do you think people are just actually more wary of speaking up because more people will shout them down about it?
Probably that one, yeah, the latter.
Because
People
you'll
will
be able
shut
to
them down.
feel the difference, whereas obviously like I'll only be able to be in a, I feel really weird saying this because I know people take the piss out of me, but like a white, straight
Yeah.
male, I'm very like,
I think though, like if
I
you
can't fucking really have an opinion because I don't know.
No. What am I a millennium child? Is that where I am? Is
Don't
that
know
where
why
I
you're
am?
asking me.
Yeah, no, you were born in the 90s.
So no, but what is it? What's it class? You've got like X generation, aren't you? Whatever they're called.
Millennial. You are
Yeah.
a millennial, I think.
Yeah, so I think people who were born in that, they're very skeptical of everything.
Yeah.
Like, if they were gay, like they didn't come out till they were later. It was later on.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's like, if you're gay, it's a cool thing.
Yeah,
So, but
almost, yeah.
I think it's like now it's, and because we live like in a snowflake world, don't we? Where like you can't say boo or anything because like it's
Yeah.
dead bad. I think now because like what you said like about people they shooting them down, I think
Yeah.
that's what it's become. So maybe people are bothered by it, but they're not. They don't want to say anything because they're scared.
Is it? Well, I assume it affected business in that small
Yeah,
time, but how did it change business for the long term?
because I stopped caring.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I don't.
So you were just
care.
more yourself rather than.
Yeah, I tried because I worked myself for so long, and it just deflates you, the living shit out of you. So I was like, nah, I'm just gonna be me.
Yeah, I feel like it's different for like, I don't know. It's strange for like females who are gay because you always get classed as a bit of a tomboy, I guess, don't you?
Yeah, I mean,
Whereas,
I was
like-
gay from the minute I came out my mum. I'm telling
Really?
you, swear to God.
Fucking no idea. The only person that I know like really closely that's gay is my barber.
All right.
And like he's the most homophobic person I've ever met in my life. Like the stuff that comes out of his mouth. And you look at him as well, so he's like tattooed, like
Proper
skinhead.
lad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like proper lad's lad. And when he first came out with something, I was like, well, not shocked, but I was a bit like,
You can't say that.
no, I was just like, I didn't know he was gay at first. And then he came out with something that was just like blatantly like,
Gay.
oh, I sucked my boyfriend off last night or something like that. And I was like, sorry, just repeat that. Right,
Takes you back, doesn't
you
it?
did say that. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've heard him come up with the most homophobic abuse of people ever as well.
All gay people are homophobic to
Really?
fuck. Really are.
So that's normal then.
Yeah,
'Cause
proper normal.
That,
You say the F word all the time. It's not-
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not allowed to say that.
Yeah, but you
Oh, is it like that? Are you
Yeah,
allowed to say that?
did you hear what I said?
No.
No, I can say it, it's fine. I always say faggot, but Grace's like, you can't say it. I'm like, yeah, I can because I don't mean it in that way.
No, because Ollie says it all the time, or like
I don't mean
again, I don't
it.
know if you're allowed to say it, but he calls people cut it out if you're not, but he calls people puffs all the time. He's like, little puff. And I'm like, what?
It is though. Like you don't mean to say it in that. I suppose it's how you say it in it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think some people argue certain words, it doesn't matter how you fucking say it. But
Yeah. What don't I like dyke? I hate that. I hate the word dyke. I think that's like proper like that's sly.
that's abusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's any way you can say it like without taking.
I'm quite
being
lucky that
sly.
it doesn't even pop in my head about an insult now. Like I've never had to repress that.
No.
You know, I know some people will have to like be like, and then they're like, no, you can't say that, I shouldn't say that. It doesn't pop in my head.
No.
I just couldn't give a fuck, to be honest with you. It doesn't make a blind bit of difference, like with me.
I don't mind. I don't know. I think I've been called all sorts.
Yeah.
I've been arrested twice because I've smacked 2 men in the gay village. Because they
Yeah.
called me a dyke. I was like, that's not
Really?
nice. Yeah, I was
Funny
like, that's
that
not
when
nice.
you go into the gay village.
The gay village is
that you
fantastic.
see gay people. You'd never have thought that, would you? Why would 2 men that were about to say that to someone actually venture?
They actually do.
Do they?
Yeah, straight. Yeah. And they are like haters of the world. Like,
I guess if you want an argument, go to the gay village and call people names.
Yeah,
because
that's it.
you'll get an argument out of it, I'm sure. But yeah, what kind of life do you have to do that?
no, sad life.
So that obviously allowed you to then be more of yourself, which is then translated into a massive uptake in business.
Yeah.
I would assume. Do you work with gay people particularly?
I've got quite a few gay people, yeah.
Do you think that's more of just a vibe thing rather than a particularly I coach gay people?
Yeah, so this is like something I'm currently going through, like debating my niche at the moment.
The thing is, like, so we've got a couple of clients who've done it quite successfully.
Yeah.
The only way, it's difficult.
Yeah, it is.
It's difficult because, like, how do you label a gay person? Like, we've just discussed people, at 2 very different ends of the spectrum. Like,
yeah, we have.
my partner's got a mate who used to wear fishnet tops, and yet, my barber's completely like what you would think of the polar opposite.
Yeah.
So, like, there's 2 spectrums there where how do you market to that?
Well, you don't, guys, because like obviously there's different types of lesbians, isn't there? Of what like the world has decided to describe us as. So you've
What
got
I
like
said to one of our clients is like, for our age group anyway, from being a teacher, is the trauma that kids go through when they're younger about dealing with it and maybe having to come to terms with it at first, having parents that
didn't like it.
they didn't like it or they didn't feel like they could say anything about having people make like fun of them at school. I think that's one thing that we kind of used as a trigger of like, there's a lot of like emotional eating and trauma and self-acceptance and that kind of stuff. That's maybe how it could be a niche, but don't really know if a sexuality itself
could actually be like a
niche.
direct niche. Yeah.
Because there'd be some people that like yourself, like fucking aren't fazed by it. That you wouldn't fit into that niche that you were looking to coach.
No.
Because you wouldn't really have any, like we said on the podcast earlier, like symptoms of that kind of stuff. It's a really difficult one, I think. I don't think you can out and out coach gay people because it's just people, isn't it?
No, you would literally just be kind of saying like, I coach gay people to get X, Y, Z. And it's like, well, all you've done is put gay people in front of it.
Which is nearly the same as just people.
Yeah, exactly.
I like people that like people of the same sexuality.
Yeah, that's it.
It doesn't make any sense. Whereas actually, if you went through maybe something like based around the emotional eating and self-acceptance and maybe childhood issues and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I think when you get to like know a lot of gay people or just going down the gay village and you're like getting them all pissed and you all start talking. Yeah, you can put them on drugs and you'll get the truth out of them. But it is very much a confidence issue.
Yeah.
Trauma from being obviously a kid and then eating usually is the things that kind of like
and do you think it's maybe
people.
still like a lot of, because I've worked with PTs that I've been out in the gay village. Don't ask me why. Sometimes it's only the place open at 4 a.m. when I was younger.
Yeah, it is. GAY, mate.
Yeah. And then you have to kind of pretend to not be a thug when you go in because then the bouncers are like,
yeah, the
you're
bouncers-
not gay enough to be
Yeah,
in here.
that's
And you're
what
like,
they say.
what do you mean? But you really want to still stay out. So you're like, right. And I don't want to look too gay because I don't want to cause myself a problem.
Yeah,
but
but
I
then-
also don't want to look that I can be
Too
against
straight.
it. So they don't let me in. It's fucking...
GAY's like that as well, you know.
Fucking, yeah, and especially when you're fucking pissed as well, so you're overcompensating on both ends.
I don't know which one to do.
Yeah, God, I can imagine watching that from a fucking camera somewhere else, like all the people in the queue. Like, that must be a nightmare. But like, you'd see like PTs that you work with and then you'd see them like out and you'd be like, fucking hell, like, I didn't know you were like this.
Yeah.
Not like gay, but like, they'd be like really outgoing and stuff like that. Whereas you saw them in the gym, they'd be like,
completely
keeping
different
themselves to
person.
themselves
Yeah.
and like dead quiet. So like, maybe that stress of having to do
Lead
that
double
day in,
life.
day out, might be something you could use as a niche.
Yeah. I think if I was going to go down it, because like the most lesbians that I know they played for sports, like
That
footy.
would be a good niche.
Like football is something that they've all done. Do you know what I mean? Like the team that I play for now. Oh, sorry. The team that I play for now, like the majority of them are gay.
Yeah.
Like I've brought people in, like, you can come play for us. You're
Yeah.
gay, you come.
Oh, but to be fair, like, I know someone that plays on a women's football team in Dubai and like majority of them are like expats and gays because
Yeah.
obviously it's a bit of a weird country to obviously be gay in as
Yeah,
well. But you like almost know,
look
like if you
down on,
join
innit?
the women's football team, like there's going to be a couple of people that
Yeah,
you can
there is.
resonate with. Have you thought about that then? Maybe like just female athletes or like later life female athletes?
Yeah, so when you were talking to Grace before, and like
Yeah.
obviously that thing that she did from the first business mentorship that was on, like to find out who you with. So I actually got mine, and it was actually like ex-athletes, like footballers, and I was
Yeah.
like, fuck that, I'm not working with those. So then I've gone against it, changed niche about 3 times, and like now I found one that like I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to Sign, who was like, you need to change your niche, and then that the live event on Friday.
Yeah.
So I sat there and Grace was like, what's up? I was like, I need to change my niche. It's fucking shit. Like fuming at myself.
It's just not, it's not fully you, is it? Like
No.
there's elements of it.
Yeah.
But
I'll
I think-
never change. Like I'll always be me.
Yeah, I think like definitely for you something like the ones that take football seriously enough to like
Yeah.
play it regularly, but not so seriously that they might want to get pissed on a weekend still and
Yeah, you gotta get
recover
them.
for the Sunday
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I want to be able to coach people who are currently coached, but like maybe just a little bit more specific as such. Like I want
Yeah.
people who want results.
Yeah.
Because I'm a very results driven person. Like my brain can't comprehend when someone doesn't want to do something. I'm like, why? What the fuck's up with you? Why have you
Yeah.
signed up with me? I don't get it. Do you know what I mean? So like if I could coach those type of people who play the sport,
Yeah, I
very
think, like, the
disciplined already.
The everyday athlete kind of
Yeah.
thing would work really well.
Yeah. Like I like people who are quite disciplined.
Yeah.
And I think if you've done a sport, you've got that discipline in you to be good. So you
Yeah,
just
for
need
sure.
something to kind of like kick it back off again.
I agree.
And
I
it'd be the
think
More
that
Life
would-
Academy.
Yeah, that would be more in line, I think. Like, I agree with you. Like, I don't think... it sounds really silly, like, oh, she's gay. Why don't you just coach gay people?
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a niche.
No.
I don't think it is a specific set of problems. Unless you, like I said, pick those pockets of people
Yeah.
that have those specific issues. But then again, that's the same exercise as any niche.
Yeah, it is.
So, you know...
And I think as well, like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do this, but like as a coach, like with the confidence and like eating and everything,
Yeah.
like eating disorders, like, well, I'm not coached in that. Like,
so if you
I
went
can't
down
do
that
that.
road, that would actually be way against like
Yeah.
where your skills lie.
Yeah, and then like confidence, I can be that confident sometimes that people can get really put off by me.
Mm.
So then it's like, I'm probably not going to resonate with people on that type of level.
Yeah.
Because I've never really suffered with confidence issues. So then it's like, I'm back to the beginning again where it's like, okay, I do actually want to, with people who've been ex-athletes as
Yeah.
such.
There we go then.
There you go.
Something we'll have to put in place. There you go, a live niche discovery.
Love it.
I know. I think we'll wrap it up there with that
Yeah.
epiphany. That'd
There
be
you
a
go.
good place to sit.
Thanks
Now,
very
now
much
you
for
can
having me.
sit there and squirrel away and like plan all your content out and stuff like that. But yeah, where can people find you? If people are actually watching this now, they're gonna hopefully see a transition from your current content into
New
where
content.
you're going with it.
Yeah, I put a post out, didn't I?
She's put the first post out.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'd have to
steps
read
are
it
done.
actually. It's quite funny because if you've been to the gay village, you'll know all the bars as well.
Will
so you'll
I?
actually get it. You'll actually
Fair enough.
understand it.
So you're about to see a transformation of one business model into another. So where can people see that?
Yeah, so on Instagram at Lydia's PT.
Lydia's PT.
Yeah, LYDIAS PT.
PT. There you go. And if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and notify yourself when we do more of these podcasts.
Nice one.